multiplication, perform indicated operation on the following functions. So now we have a function f of x, which is x squared plus 2, and the function g of x, which is x minus 1. So I multiply f of x times g of x. Instead of f of x, we are going to plug in x squared plus 2, x squared plus 2, which is a quadratic function, and we multiply it with a linear function, which is x minus 1. So x minus 1. And here we are foiling this those functions, two functions. So x squared times x is x cubic. So let me distribute here. It is x cubic. And x squared times minus 1 is a minus x squared. And now we are multiplying with the 2. 2 times x is a plus 2x. Plus 2x. And now plus 2 times minus 1 is a minus 2. And now let's clean up the mess. And f of x, let me write here, f of x times g of x times function g of x is equal with, well, let me clean up here. So I have a x cubic, and here I have just one x squared, so it's a minus x squared. So I think it is already, everything is clear. So plus 2x minus 2. So the new function is, when we multiply those f of x and g of x, we get a new function, which is a x cubic plus x squared plus 2x minus 2. So when we see here, we have the quadratic function times multiply linear function, we got a cubic function. So if we're looking in terms of the domain, for example, this x squared plus 2 has a domain, the same domain, because it's from minus infinity to infinity. X minus 1 is linear function. They have the same domain from negative infinity to positive infinity, and cubic function have the same domain. But in sense of the range, it can be a smaller differences, but now we are taking care of just how to multiply the two functions f of x and g of x, which result can be x cubic minus x squared plus 2x minus 2. So this is a new function. And in a b, if we have to evaluate the new function, which is a f function f times function g, in effect the multiplication of function f of x and g of x, and instead of the x we plug in 2. What's going to happen here in a b is going to be this way. Let me go. Times g is going to be for 2. For 2 is going. Now instead of the function here x cubic, we are putting a 2 in a cubic. 2 in a cubic. And minus x squared. So minus, but we know x is going to be like this, 2. And here is a square. And here is a plus 2x. Here is a plus 2 times x times 2. And is a minus 2. And when we are cleaning up the mass a little bit more, we're going to have a better picture of what's going on in this evaluation of the function, of the new function. And we're going to have this way. 2 in a cubic is 8. The minus is in the front here. And 2 squared is a 4. Here is a minus 4. Is minus 4. And here is 2 plus 2 times 2 is plus 4. Here is a plus 4. And in the end we have a minus 2. Minus 2. So let me clean up this a little bit. I think it's not good. So is a minus 2. And now here we can simplify this plus 4 and minus 4. And finally, f times g, we can write it down of 2 with argument of 2 is equal with 8 minus 2 is 6. So this is the result.